Welcome to Real Estate Success DFW, the podcast where top producing agents from Dallas-Fort Worth come together to share their stories and strategies behind their success. I'm Shaune Corbett, your host, and with over 300 million sold in the local real estate market and the honor of being best at the multiple times, I know what it takes to make it in this market. Each episode, we're going to dive into the world of real estate, learning from the very best in the industry. If you're ready to level up your game, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hey everyone, Shaune Corbett, Real Estate Success DFW, and I've got a superstar with us today, Kim Taylor. She and I go
way back
history. I'd say most of it's pretty good. We didn't yell at each other too much, but I'd say it's pretty good.
My first official broker, Shaune. You taught me everything I know.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'll let you say that. But so she actually was working somewhere. She was in the middle of a transaction. It was going sideways. She wasn't getting support. And she was at a broker that everybody in the office shared the Supra. I remember this. Do you remember this? Y'all all shared a Supra. And I'm like, how do you get around? That doesn't make any sense. So
yeah, it was insane.
And I didn't really care to have new agents when I had my own brokerage. This is probably 14 years ago, or not quite that long.
10.
Is about 10 years ago. Yeah, because you're with me probably 3 years-ish, and I've been here for 6. So we'll call it 10 years. And I didn't really like to bring in new people, but she comes in and she's like, no, I don't think you understand. She brings in her license and puts it on the desk and says, no, I'm joining you.
Did I do that?
Yeah, you did. And
probably because Fred and Andrew were like, okay, this is how you got to approach this.
So I said, okay, why not? And I'm glad I did, because Kim is probably the most natural realtor I think I've ever met in my life. I mean, she's got real estate. She's comfortable talking to people. She's comfortable working and giving them things they need to know. She's very good at what she does. But probably pure real estate talent, I'd say Kim is probably at the very top of the list of anyone that I've worked with. So I want to make sure she knows that. I really appreciate her working with me. And she picked up very quickly. I mean, she got the buy side down really comfortably. She's doing her own listings. She was rolling. And she got up to selling quite a bit of real estate with us. I'd have to go back and look, but it was probably 10 plus million a year. You were selling really good for the last couple of years. It was incredible.
Yeah.
And then from there was opportunities elsewhere. And then you moved to a different broker arrangement. You worked at JPAR. And ironically, about the same time that you're making that transition, I made the transition from being a broker to the place I'm at now. So that was, and I've been there for 6 years. So you made the transfer to JPAR, I made the transfer to another broker. And so I didn't have to be responsible, liable, and I could just focus on teaching, training, and selling a lot of real estate. Mm-hmm. And that was really kind of the focus. So you did that, and then you've always wanted to have your own team. Talk to me a little bit about that. I don't want to speak for you because I think I know a lot about you because I've known you for a long time, but I want you to tell me, why couldn't you could sell real estate on your own. You don't need a team, right? Why did you decide that was one of the kind of identities that you really wanted to have?
Yeah. Well, first of all, can you hear my kitty crying through the door? I have a new kitty and he don't like it that my door's closed. So sorry, but we're not going to talk about cats because I talked about cats the other day on the Real Producer podcast and we're not going to go there. Okay, so being a solo agent, it's so lonely, right? I mean, it's just, you're on a lonely island. And I just it's about the same time that this Better Together started coming out. That's our hashtag, Better Together, because everything that you do, like whether you go somewhere, and I'm a people person, but there's something about just going to an event by yourself that I don't love. So when you have a team, you just have an automatic group of people that you do life with. And that is what I loved about having a team. Do you want to tap into the brokerage part of it, or do you want to keep going?
We'll stay with that for a moment, because I know that you get energy from being with people.
Yeah.
It drives you. I don't think you ever sit down. This will probably be the longest time I'll see you sit down.
Well, how long did it take you to try to get me? Like, we were supposed to do this, last week? I've had to reschedule 50 times because sitting in front of my computer this is a rare moment here. You're right. It's hard for me to sit still.
So you gain energy by having people with you that have a common goal that you can specifically, and I know you like the aspect of pouring into others. Mm-hmm. That's a really important part of who you are, what kind of gives you energy, just doing that part as well. So if you can share and teach, or if they can come to you for advice, that really gets you really motivated. So you started a team, so how did you do it? Did you just let everyone kind of run on their own and then they come back to you, or did you assign them buyer agent responsibilities?
No, I did it a little bit different in the fact that I believe every agent should be good in every area. I think you should be a good listing agent. You should be a good buyer's agent. You need to know how to input your listing. You need to know how to write a contract. Like, you need to know how to do all that. So I didn't really get on the bandwagon of, oh, I'm going to make you my buyer's agent. I'm going to make you my TC. I didn't put hats on people. I just really found the importance of training them to be the best agent they could be. And basically my goal from the beginning is to duplicate myself. And one area, I'm going to kind of go off on a bunny trail here. You have to stay relevant. You have to stay top of mind. You cannot be a secret agent in this business. And I think that's my biggest sticking point with a lot of agents is I teach them to watch what I'm doing, because you know me, I don't buy leads. I'm not going to spoon feed you all this stuff like you did for me that first year. Like, that's how I did so great in real estate. I just never got on that bandwagon. And so I think your best leads are the people that know, love, and trust you. And that's your sphere. And everyone has a different sphere. Our sphere may touch a little some way, but for the most part, every agent, every person has their own sphere. So you have to tap into that the best way that you can. And the greatest, freest tool is social media or your cell phone. And that's not being afraid to send out a video text to everybody and asking them if they know anyone looking to buy or sell. That's being the go-to on your neighborhood Facebook pages. That's doing your motivational Mondays, or that's doing your listing walkthroughs and making all these little videos. Is it exhausting? Yes, it's exhausting, but it keeps me in front of people, and it never fails. I can see somebody out in public and they're like, holy cow, you are so busy. Whether I'm busy or not, I look busy. So I know what I'm doing is working. And so all that to say, it is my job to teach my agents how to duplicate that. And probably out of 10 fingers that I hold up, that I've trained multiple agents over since 2018, but I can count on 3 fingers how many people are actually doing it. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, not everyone's born an entrepreneur or born a real estate agent like Kim Taylor.
No. Oh, please. It's just frustrating because it's like...
It is. Well, you have a success system that works for you, and it does work. Staying in front of your sphere is incredibly beneficial. There are people that lack interest in social media, that don't see the value of doing that, and they don't see the potential of it. And mine's not very heavy for me in promoting. I do more stuff my family oriented, but I've kind of systematized my sphere of influence. I touch everyone 40 times a year.
Yeah.
And if for every 100 that know me by first name, I know them by first name, I'll get 7 referrals for each of them.
Well, and it doesn't have to be social media, just like you just said. You know, it's like I send out the American Lifestyle magazine to all my past closed clients. You're doing your pie events to your past closed clients. Like, staying connected to those people that you've done deals with and getting your feelers out for those for referrals, right? Family and friends are going to always come to you, right? Hopefully.
Well, you think.
Well, you would hope.
Yeah, I've got people pretty close to me. One particular relative of ours, I mean, they've probably done 8 transactions and not once. And they come to me for real estate advice all the time.
Have you ever asked them why?
Too close. Law of familiarity. They know they're just too close.
They just don't want you knowing their business. That's
part of it, right? Or many of them know me so well, they almost think that they know enough about real estate they don't have to ask. As shocking as that is. But I don't solve real estate problems for them, so they don't really know that I know what I'm talking about. And I do sell a lot of houses with very few hiccups for a reason, right?
Yeah, that has to be frustrating.
When you do your sphere of influence, have you read anything or researched anything, or you just believe I just touch everybody as much as I possibly can? Do you have any type of system built in behind that? Or you just kind of wing it?
Do you know? Come on, Shaune. You know the answer to that.
I'm like, you do what you think. So your method though, right, is hard to duplicate because they can't duplicate you, is what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
What works for
And
you is great, and you know how to do it. You know how to stay in front of people, but maybe we have to systematize some of it and say, hey, post twice a week this
yeah.
video.
And have I sat down and be like, I mean, everybody has the social media calendars, right? Okay, on this day, post this. And those are great starting points. But I think from there, and that's what I did probably about 5 or 6 years ago, is I took that calendar and I figured out, what do I want to do? What do I do on Mondays? I don't really like that regimented stuff for me. I know I have my motivational Mondays. I have those pre-recorded. I pull it up, I tweak it, I post it on all my social media platforms and share it. I don't have a specific Tuesdays, I'm going to do listings. Wednesdays, I'm going to do this. I don't have that. But I think, because I think you lose a lot of your authenticity then. I think you have to be real careful. And I just think it's important to share your life. Probably the biggest feedback I get is that a lot of people just know what's going on in my life. I'm an open book, which is a sticking point between my husband and I a lot of the times, because he's not an open book.
He's very private for sure.
So he's
100%.
private. So, just whether it be my little breast cancer scare, or whether it be we had an issue with a kid, I'm just an open book. And my thought process is, if there is anything I can do to help someone else through this process, I'm going to be vocal and I'm going to share it, and I'm going to be an open book about it. And if it doesn't apply to you, then move along. But if I can help it apply to one person, then it was worth it to me.
Sure.
And that was a big money drill.
And systems can be the antithesis to organic and authenticity.
Yeah.
And you're right? You should have some space in there.
Yeah.
To have your own touch on the way things get processed when you touch and talk to people. All my conversations, phone calls and text, none of them are about real estate virtually.
Right.
And I try to always kind of make it about what's going on with them. And at some point it does come back around.
Yeah.
Now they're ready to do something.
And I tell agents all the time, I'm like, listen, I would rather you take the, say, $300 a month that you would spend on Realtor.com leads, or I don't even know if anything's $300 a month anymore. It's probably all $500 a month now. But I'd rather see you take that and use that for lunches and coffees and just connecting with people. It's a people business. If you can't talk to people about everyday things, you don't need to be in this business. I'm
Sure.
sorry.
It's about, you build credibility with your clients for sure, being able to talk about openly anything that they have. And I'm sure many of your transactions, you end up in a therapy session or lots of that. Like, how are we going to window? Because it's the most expensive component of their life. Mm-hmm. It affects a lot.
Very emotional. Yeah.
And it becomes very emotional for sure. Mm-hmm. No, 100%. So
and then can I say too, on a side point, because when you were talking a while ago, I was thinking we didn't hit on, yes, I do newsletters. Yes, I have an automated email that goes out to 1,000. I don't even know how many people. So yes, I do all that extra stuff too, but that's all automated, right? That's not like, what do I got to do this week? So
what's your actual organic touch part? Right. So yes, and we do have automated. That's good, because that's the way we stay in front. You got to be top of mind. I've gone through, and we all have, right? So people that are close to you that didn't call you to do real estate, and it stings. And shockingly, many times, it's beyond even my example. They probably would never use me just because of the closeness. But there are other people that know me well, but they don't think of me in real estate. And that's one of the things that most agents miss, is the opportunity to at least stay top of mind when someone's making a real estate decision. It's hard to do without being all in their face.
Right.
So that's a hard balance.
I tell you what, I am that person who, let's say, Shaune, you and I are good friends and we see each other out and you're like, oh, hey, oh, wait, no, let's not do that example. Let me think. Let's say I see on social media that you just listed your house. I am going to pick my phone up and I'm going to be like, hey, Shaune, I see that you just listed your house. Congratulations. Like, I am going to let you know that I know.
I hear
And
you.
then what are you going to do? You're going to kind of be like, oh, wow, ooh, Kim Taylor knows. Shoot, why did I call her? Dadgummit. Because I want people to know that, hey, I see what you're doing. I see that you didn't call me.
Yep. And when it doesn't work out, you know my number.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. And you know what they all say? Oh my gosh, yes, I meant to text you. Bring me a buyer. I don't know. We're just not getting very many showings. If I can help you do anything, let me know, but good luck. Sorry.
It does. It
Just had to
happens.
throw that
No.
little story in there.
Yeah, I appreciate the stories are important for sure. All right, so you were at JPAR and you you called it Kim Taylor Real Estate Group, and you've now truncated it to
K-Treg, yeah.
in K-Treg. You've actually kept the brand. You are no longer at that brokerage, and you started your own brokerage. How long have you been a broker owner now?
We started last June of 23, so about
Really?
a year and a half in.
Okay, so you're about a year and a half in. You've got K-Treg, and you kept the name, and that's your brand. You already have your script and your logo and all the things that you use it everywhere. So it wasn't much of a transition probably for most people because they recognize your brand logo.
Right.
And I think sometimes people get lost on that. Most of the scalable brokerages they want you to build your brand. They don't want to build their brand. You know, so I think that's an important distinction. So you already had a brand and you decided, I'm going to do this all on my own. Several indifferences that we had with the prior broker. We all do, right? At some point you have indifferences and you decide, you know what, I'm going to do this on my own. How has that transition been? What's been the big differences that you've seen?
In the beginning, it was the same, right? Because my team came over with me and it's like, oh, we're going to do our own thing now. And it seemed like it was going to be fun. And luckily, we had all of our back office systems in place. And let me tell you what my saving grace was. There was a broker that had been with JPAR that left that was going to start a franchise in Waco. And her name came to my mind. And I was like, I know it was the Lord who said, call Amber Brown. Because I called Amber and I'm like, hey, I just really feel like I'm supposed to chat with you about what it looks like to start a brokerage. And she, from a coaching aspect, Shaune, this might be something really good you could tap into also, but she coached us for about 3 months on what system she used, what back office she used, what she used for communication, what she used for CRM, like all the things. And she laid it all out on a silver platter and all we did was copied it. And for us, that was huge. Like, Trainual for onboarding, Slack for communication, because you can't put everybody in a group text because not everybody has an iPhone. Like all those little nitty gritty things.
Yeah, the systems.
Systems. So I didn't get caught up in the bells and whistles. I'm like, look, I'm not providing a CRM because on the team, we had KV Core at JPAR, which is one of the top ones, and no one used it. So I'm like, I am paying for a CRM for y'all. I knew a website was important. I did end up getting a CRM, which was Real Geeks and could add a $25 a month user, which that helped. But still, not all, 2 of my 12 agents used it. So I will say that personally, the biggest downfall that I had or I did was I had a very hard time taking the team lead hat off and putting a broker hat on. And I think with my team girls, I didn't have the respect level. I just didn't know. I know now where I messed up, but if I could go back in time, if we could all go back in time, right? We know what we'd fix. Because I wanted to please them and include my core 7 girls in all my decision making. And what do we want to do this month? Just all the fun stuff that we used to do as a team. And I didn't necessarily need to be doing all that, right? So I didn't really need to be going to new builds, right? To do like a CE class and do social media videos because in my level of business, that's not what I needed to be doing, but I did it anyway to please them. When I could have been putting myself doing more appropriate things for the brokerage. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
So hindsight, looking back, that was not what I should have done, but lesson learned. I won't do it again when I rebuild, because there was a fast growth that happened up to 12 agents. And then I lost a lot of agents this year because nobody was selling things. It's always the broker's fault. People had to change to go to other places where, they had to explore other options, and that's fine. That's fine. So anyway, that was a nutshell, right?
It was good. Some juicy gossip. I like it, Kev. There's a lot that goes into being a broker. I tell you from my standpoint, being one and then for about 10 years and then going to where I'm at now, I mean, I sell 4 times as much houses, and I get to do, if I want to train and coach, which is what I really like to do, that's where I put a lot of my time and energy. If you can build a successful referral-based business that can sustain you monetarily, then you can really focus all your energy in coaching and training. I didn't like the liability part. I didn't like the broker responsibility. I didn't like having to pay for everything 100% just to keep everything running.
Yeah.
I like the turnkey option.
Yeah.
And I can build as much as of a brand I want to build. I could still continue to really promote True West, which I have, and I still have all the same agents in the group, but I just don't have to be responsible for anything.
Yeah. And that's a big one. I mean, that we felt like a bleeding artery for the first year. And it's just, I hate to say it, but I had one agent who was really besides myself, I'm still the breadwinner in the brokerage, but I had one other agent who was really the only one selling anything all year, which makes it really hard when you're paying for a lot of stuff. And so I'll
give you some high level, because we could get into some details on that, but the high level thinking is you've got to do somewhere around 40 agents in order for the broker to step out of production, right?
40?
Yeah, it takes about 40 agents to get out of production. Otherwise, you have to be a part of the production, which compromises you having to be the broker.
Yeah.
So now you end up being kind of a small team running, and you have to sell everything, and you sell real estate to pay for everybody else to have services.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah. So to rebuild it, I really felt this is going to be a lot of TMI too, but I really was kind of left questioning everything about. In May, we moved to the country, and I'm just in this place of solitude, which I really shared a lot of this on the Real Producers podcast. But I felt like the Lord gave and the Lord took away. And now I'm just in this place, honestly, of just rest and relaxation for me. I'm going gray. I'm not having to color my hair for 10 days. And I'm kind of glad that I've been purged a little bit, because the Lord knew that's what I needed right now. But I also know that He still has a picture for us to grow, because the instant that I had pretty much all my team members, my core team members, leave and go to other brokerages, I'm like, that's it, I'm done. But then I had 3 agents contact me about wanting to talk to me about the brokerage. So the Lord's like, no, you're not done. So my next phase of rebuilding looks different in the fact that I'm praying about who He's going to bring to me for my platform. I want a broker associate to handle all the broker questions. I need a new mentor. I don't want to train. I don't want to do that. I had a mentor before who handled all new agents, and then she gets a portion of that for training. I just did a phase of my business, Shaune, where I don't want to do that,
Imagine being at a place that you don't want to bring in new agents.
No, not that place. The training.
I got you. Well, I can't train on how to write a contract and stuff like that. Is no interest to me.
Right.
But growing from 1 transaction a month to 2 transactions, that's where my heavy focus has really been on agents and production. I need to see, we're going to do production because, 90% of them aren't going to make it. So you're spending a lot of time and energy on people that are never going to sell real estate long term. And that's just part of the business, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I get it. We kind of came from a standpoint where it was like, we're not going to hire new agents, but that's who contacts me. People who want to get into real estate like me. And I'm like, go somewhere else for a couple of years and then come.
There's some easy solutions, right? You can partner with things that will allow them to grow and learn and build a business. I'll give you a couple of examples. This might kind of put things in perspective. One, I have a school account now, SKOL, and I'm going to be creating training materials and things I've got 3 phases of it, but my first phase is teaching agents how to build a business without spending money. Right? If they can start tackling and growing their own business without spending money, that's a great place to start. And I've got a number of categories to specifically dive in and learn how to do, if they can accomplish that, they're an entrepreneur, right? And they're not having to spend, and most agents don't come in with a 2,000 a month budget, right? They have nothing.
Yeah.
And it's going to take them 6 months to get that first check. If we can build a pipeline without spending money through referral systems and through open houses and through various options, then that's a great place that we can now have something that we can start building. And their sphere of influence is in there. Fortunately, most agents get hit with about 2 or 3 their first year in the sphere of influence immediately. They all do. Oh,
Right.
you're getting a license. I'll help you out. One of your cousins or friends or family.
Yeah.
That dries up pretty quick. So it has to be a small part of your initial offering. And then the second thing is we're going to really learn how to systematize their sphere of influence and stay in front of them and then grow that. And by growing that, they can multiply and eventually weed out all non-referrals. The goal is to be in a 100% referral-based business, and then you can control your schedule, you can control who you work with, right? I still have generally a model where I don't work weekends or evenings. And I think most agents don't believe they can get there, but they can. You know, so I set up a school training system for that type of purpose. That I think is a really valuable, and there are plenty of options. They don't have to come and look at what I'm doing, but that's a place that we can help people grow their business without having to get too invested. It's okay hiring new people, but you need a training transaction coordinator, which you do. We haven't talked much about Gordon. Gordon is a partner with you through all of this. Does he have a license, or he always just stays on the back?
No, he's had his license for 5 years.
Okay.
So he does a lot of my showings. He puts all my signs and lock boxes up. So he's basically my assistant, and then he's my contract coordinator for all the agents who want to use him.
And then he offers that service available to agents as well. So you have CTC as a part of your system. And for those, most people won't know our connection from the beginning, but my CTC is actually Kim's sister-in-law.
Yeah.
So we're connected in other ways.
Yeah, definitely.
She's obviously been a lifesaver for me. She's amazing.
Well, and the sad thing is that most new agents don't know that providing that service, how important it is. They get so caught up in the shiny things of, well, are you offering me a website? Are you offering me a CRM? Are you offering me, like, I get, none of that stuff matters if you don't have business in the beginning. Like having a TC walk you through and explain and being on beckoning call for writing a contract when it comes time or putting in your listing. It's so much more of a valuable service to me than all the other little things. You don't know what you don't know.
Let me share another thing. There are boutique offices that would benefit, and you mentioned this earlier, broker associate. I actually thought about a broker on demand option because I can generally solve most real estate problems pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that comes up, especially transaction. So I actually thought about setting up a broker on demand option where boutique offices or your JPARs or your Fathoms, where they sign up because they don't want to give away any of their money. They have that small transaction fee. They think that they've got it all under control. And they all of a sudden they realize they don't have a broker they can call.
Yeah.
Or can resolve their problems.
Yeah.
That is an opportunity that I'm exploring. At least initially, I'll probably create an ongoing Zoom option where I'm available office hours during the week. Office hours, they can just jump on and ask me anything.
Yeah.
It's available for everyone.
I know several agents at JPAR that got their broker's license, started a brokerage, and then when the NAR stuff hit, they pulled out and, you know, their brokerage is under another broker, right?
Sure.
So broker of record or whatever. There's called something, but I can't think of what it's called.
You can franchise, or you can, I could park my broker license anywhere, but I just don't, it doesn't fit where I want to go. But I think that offering that type of offering to people that don't want to answer the broker questions for some type of subscription-based system, I think it'd be an effective way to have like a alternative broker option that's available that's part of your system.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm looking at engaging. It's going to be a part of my school system is where I'm kind of draw it from. I'm actually going to create a broker on demand type option there. Very cool. Very cool. We've actually run longer than I thought we would probably run. We got plenty to talk about for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to, how do we find Kim Taylor and K-Treg? How do we find you?
Just Google me.
Easy to find. That's what I tell everybody. I'm easy to find.
I'm easy to find. Kim Taylor, Justin, Texas Realtor, Roanoke for many years. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Google my business. What else? What am I leaving out?
Those are the primary. Yeah, those are the primary ones. Yeah. And from there you can instant message, and then you can contact and talk with them directly. The majority of our audience are going to be other agents, especially ones that are probably broker owners. Or generally, I'm looking at people that sell a lot of real estate. That's who I primarily want to talk with, which is why you're a perfect candidate because you are killing it in real estate. Very cool.
I've actually just had, oh, hello. Did you see me throw my pen at you? Just this week closed and had my best year ever.
Oh, this year you did. Good for you, because most agents are not having a good year.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I don't keep up with my numbers. Gordon keeps up with all my numbers. And he came to me before I did that Real Producer podcast last week. And he goes, do you even know what your numbers are this year? And I'm like, no, I've been busy this year. And he's like, this was, again, before I closed 3. He's like, you're $100,000 away from having your best year ever in 9 years of real estate. I'm like,
nice.
Really? So all I can say is God's good. I keep him at the forefront and he provides me. That's another thing I do that a lot of agents don't do. And I get it that I'm not going to pull the God card, but he is my sustainer and he brings me business.
Amen. Well,
yeah.
No
Fred
doubt.
Martinez told me that when he trained me. It's like, you're not in the driver's seat, Kim Taylor. Let the big man upstairs drive this bus. And I'm like, okay.
Fred and I still work together every day and we pray. And
I
we
miss
know
Fred.
that everything that we have is because of God for sure.
Love it. Love it.
Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. We have your contact. We'll have that connected there and we'll be able to connect on social media. A very good interview. I'm sure we'll do it again, Kim. There's a lot more we could talk about, but
yeah,
only have so much time in the day to be able to talk. So
I know. I'm bouncing to get up right now. So thanks for having me on, Shaune.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. That wraps up another episode of Real Estate Success DFW. I hope you're leaving with new insights that push your real estate career forward. If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with fellow agents who's ready to succeed. And if you're interested in working together or have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Reach out to me directly. My personal phone is 214-228-0383. Let's connect and make real estate success happen together. Until next time, keep pushing forward. I'm Shaune Corbett, and this is the Real Estate Success DFW. Have a high performance week.